Building your dream doesn't have to happen all at once. Sometimes the smallest steps lead to the biggest results. So if you've been thinking about starting a building, you've been thinking, dreaming about owning your own house, but don't know where to begin, I would like to share some steps with you that you can take, just some tips from me that might help you to get started. So I've got 3 steps here that I would like to share with you. Firstly, it would be you saving for your first materials. So for this part, I would suggest that you either save the cash or you buy the material upfront. So saving cash might be a little bit tricky for anybody, especially when you are in need financially. And as we know, it's not everybody that can afford to build from their salary. So it's either you are going to borrow some money somewhere and build, or you are going to save from your income. All right. So if you decide to go with the saving, I would suggest that you don't use your daily account. Open a savings account, open a separate account where you can deposit this money, and make sure you don't have access to this account. Now, it's about discipline, honestly, it's about discipline. If you tell yourself, I'll be saving 500 or I'll be saving 1,000 or 5,000, it's really up to you. Okay. And on this one, I would say, for the ladies, especially, get this, but I can't say it's just the ladies, discipline can be, it's everybody that needs to be disciplined anyway. Let me leave it there. Let me not get into the discipline issue, but you should just know that if you have a vision, you have to save. Otherwise, you have to go and borrow some money. So if you are not going with the saving of the cash, then you can maybe decide to buy material upfront. So if you have a leftover, or if you tell yourself from your income you're going to be saving 500, it will go a long way. Trust me. Don't wait until you have 10,000 in your account. It might not happen. But what is going to save you is, instead of going to do your hair, because us ladies, our hair can be very expensive, perhaps you can downscale a little bit. I'm not saying you start looking like a zombie, okay? But you can tone down on certain things so that you can afford, your building. Building is not easy. I'm going to tell you upfront. Yes, I'm talking about a low budget flat, but it's going to cost you. There's nothing cheap about building. It's just that it will be cheaper than other people are talking about. Basically, that's what it is. Okay. So if you're going to go with buying materials upfront, you might need to invest only in materials that won't go to waste. Materials like the brick force, this is this wire that they use for the walls, and then there's the comfort wire that is metal. So if it's metal, it means that it's not going to go to waste. Okay, as long as you're just going to buy the good quality one. Okay, so there's DPC as well that you can want to buy in advance. So some of this you can begin to put aside so that when you begin the project, you won't have too much, because when you go shopping for everything at once, trust me, you're going to cry. It's a lot of money that will be required from you. Of course, if you've got a big salary, it's nothing. But if you are looking at a low budget, it means that you have some constraints somewhere. Okay, so cement, some people or most people have advised that you don't buy this one and store it for a long period of time. If you're going to build in the next few weeks, that can work. But unless you have a place where you're going to store it, remember it's raining, so it can be damp. And nowadays, there's the innovation. I learned about the superset, which I really liked. It doesn't take long to harden, so you don't want to buy this material and then cry with after 6 months you discover, oh, it's a brick already, you can't do anything with it. So I would caution on cement. And then there's building sand. Hands up those who have seen people who've had building sand for years in their yard or outside their yard at the farm. People buy, and this one can stay. Okay, I know that sometimes and then 2 years later the chulu is still there, but but you can still use it because you can still gather the sand back. So that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm just giving you examples so that you understand that there are certain things that you can buy well in advance and begin to keep them at home. Okay, so I'm talking about these things because they are part of the foundation and the slab. So that would be the starting point. I wouldn't say go and buy door handles because you haven't even done anything. So the door handles are not going to work. Okay, we'll talk about them at another stage. Step 2, get to research the best options within your budget. Compare prices and look for quality materials that will last. Okay, this is a very important part. As you are thinking of what to do, look at the best options for you. You should know that this is your budget. Your budget yoveni na ine budget yandini nabakalamba bowe budget yabo nabanoko nabawisana bo budget yabo nidia. So what I'm saying here is concentrate on your budget. Okay, so iwe budget yobe ngoperefe pali 10 pin ukose yapo pene pali 10 pin nomba budget ngaliko pali 200 na iwe wininishi na ushopo wiminine. Okay, so what I'm saying for the benefit of those who don't understand my language is that take care of your budget. Don't look at your sister's budget, your friend's budget, or whoever's budget. Concentrate on yours. If you can only afford 10,000 for a building, then let's work around the 10,000. Okay, then there are those who can afford 200,000. That's also another class. And then when we talk about materials, there's a video that I posted a while ago, and I was saying, if your budget allows you to go to Micma, if your budget allows you to go to Build It, if it allows you to go to Micra, if it allows you to go to builders, then go to those places. Okay, but if you know that your budget doesn't allow you to go to builders, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so don't run around to the wrong places. This is the point I want to drive home. Look at the options that are available to you. If you 50,000, in 50,000, you're not going to buy from Wireforce or from builders. You should look around and see. Maybe there's a store somewhere where it is going to be a little bit cheaper. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. Compare the prices. I have a finance background, so I'm not going to go with one quotation. I don't even get tired. I will go for 3 quotations. I have to find it. So there are certain things. Let's talk about the Comforts wire, for instance. The Comforts wire, Comforts, I have decided I'm just buying it from Wireforce unless somebody can tell me it's cheaper but it's of good quality elsewhere, and then I'll go there. But for now, I'm just stuck with those guys. Okay, so so I've even lost my point here, but I'm talking about the quality. Okay, look at the quality. Don't just concentrate on the pricing, because sometimes you might run to Buseko and that Conforce wire is not going to be strong enough for the building. So just be careful with the foundation. Don't cut corners. Yes, I know I'm talking about a low budget flat, but take caution not to run for the frame of the house. No, don't cut corners. You don't want to have, what happens with building. I have seen, it's not the first time I'm building. I have seen, but also not from me, from other people. The house is going to be fine in the first year, but just give it a few more years. You're going to see a lot of things, and then you have to reinforce the foundation. I had a neighbor, with a very big house, and after a while, they went on drilling and drilling for weeks. They were drilling just to rectify the foundation. It wasn't good. After a while, they sold the house, and we were just watching and praying that, the people are coming in this house. May it be a strong house. Yeah, that's the reason people don't even want to buy houses. They want to build for themselves. Anyway, that's another point, point for another day. So this is just what I'm encouraging you to do. Don't just look at the price, but also look at the quality. The foundation is important. It's an important part. Like I mentioned, I'm not an expert in construction, but I'm somebody who has taken an interest in construction. So the experts don't shoot at me because I don't know what you know, but I would say what I have done, and I'm here to advise people that want to build on a low budget. Okay, and point number 3, which is my last point, sketch out your vision. So putting your dream on paper helps you plan and stay motivated. You know what? Think about the kind of house that you would like. Maybe it's just you telling yourself, oh, God, I've been praying if only I could just have one bedroom, a living room, and a kitchen. That is fine. It is enough. It is perfect. Okay. If you're dreaming big, that is good. If you want 5 bedrooms, it is also perfect. Actually, we have the ability. God is the one who gives us that ability, to create all these things that we want. So then, think about what you want. How big do you want your house to be? It's okay to dream. It's okay to dream. I remember a long time ago when my husband and I were looking at something to build for ourselves. The architect told us, dream big, dream. When we get to do the budget, the bill of what? Bill of quantities. We are going to start reducing if we can't afford it. But dream, it's okay to dream. Okay. Dream, of course, we are going to pray about all these kind of dreams. But reality, what do you want to do? So what I'm saying here is, don't just be talking about, checking out houses here and there. Be bold enough. Begin to do something. Tell yourself, okay, from today, I've listened to that video that Francine was, giving advice on. What do I want? Get a paper. You don't need to buy a plan for now. There are a lot of plans that are floating around. But for yourself, you can just draw on a paper and keep it somewhere where you can see it every day. If you want, put it on the fridge. If you want, you can be putting it under your pillow so that every day you can pray over it. All right. So, yeah, remember, every great structure begins with a solid foundation, and that foundation starts with your first step. So, what's one thing you can do today to move closer to your building goal? You've listened to what I have said. What's just one thing that you can do today to move closer to your building goal? Drop a comment and let's talk about it.